Another question here. Again, the questions at once, subhanAllah, again, not based upon fairness or justice. The scholars of hadith would accept the narrations from the people of innovation. Isn't that a proof that we can take from them the good and leave the evil? Alhamdulillah, I've dealt with that in detail previously, and it's recorded, alhamdulillah, upon the website, the SoundCloud of Germantown Masjid, walillah alhamd, and a lot of detail. But ikhtisaran, to say in brief. Firstly, if you want to read about that matter, go back and read the explanation of Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah ta'ala. He talks about it in a lot of detail in his explanation of Hilyatu Talib al-Ilm. He speaks about it in a lot of details. But in summary, firstly, with regards to accepting the narrations of the people of innovation, they know that the origin is that we don't take knowledge from the people of misguidance. Why? Forget about taking knowledge from them. There are verses in the Quran that the Sahaba understood to be applicable to the Khawarij. Like, for example, the verse in Surah Ali Imran, فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ زَيْغٌ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ مَا تَشَابَهَ مِنْهُ ابْتِغَاءَ الْفِتْنَةِ وَابْتِغَاءَ تَأْوِيلِهِ. As for those who have a sickness and a disease in their heart, then they will follow that which is unclear from the Quran, desiring fitna. Some of the Sahaba, some of the Salaf, they understood that to be referring to the Khawarij. Forget about taking knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ commanded the leaders of the Muslims that the Khawarij should be fought. So they're talking about taking knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ commanded that the Khawarij should be fought. So that's the asl, the origin. The origin, we do not take anything, no knowledge from the people of misguidance and deviation. However, when it came to ahadith, the scholars, they were faced with two affairs. They were faced with the mafsada, the harm of the sunnah, parts of the sunnah being lost, ahadith being lost. And they were faced with the mafsada, the evil of what? The evil of taking from the people of innovation. They gave tarjih based upon the well-known principle, irtikabu ashad ad-dararain, irtikab akhaf ad-dararain littakhallus min ashaddihima. That you take the lesser of the two evils. If you're faced with two evils, you take the lesser of the two to escape from the greater one. irtikabu akhaf ad-dararain littakhallus min ashaddihima. So they said the harm of losing these ahadith from the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, it outweighs and is greater than the harm of certain individuals only accepting narrations. And again, it goes on to the next point. They didn't open the door and say we accept from every innovator. Rather, even among themselves, they differed. Some of them said we don't accept any of the narrations of the people of innovation. Some of them said we do not accept the narration of the person of innovation who calls to his innovation. Some of them said we don't take from the person of innovation if he narrates that which strengthens his innovation. So even among themselves they differed with regards to the position of taking the narration from the people of Bidah. Now, the strongest stance was those who accepted with conditions, that the individual is not a caller from the callers of misguidance. And look, the Khawarij, they used to say, for example, لَنَا صِدْقُهُمْ وَعَلَيْهِمْ بِدَعَتُهُمْ. We'll take their truthfulness, meaning if they narrate hadith, the Khawarij, we know that they believe that lying is a kabira, a major sin. That was at that time, because today they're kadhabun, they're liars. They lie about visas, they'll lie on applications, they'll commit fraud and all types of things. They used to believe that major sins, lesser than shirk, takes a person outside the fold of Islam. So the ulama, they said, we'll accept their sin when they narrate, because if they lie, they hold that lie is a major sin, they're expelled from the fold of Islam. Now, but they will have the weight of their bid'ah. So they would accept narrations for the preservation of the sunnah from certain individuals. Likewise, they used to warn against these individuals. If they were asked, they would say, he's a kharij, he's a Muaadh, he's a kada, he's into shay, he has something from irja. Or they would warn against these individuals and they would caution against them. Shaykh Muqbili said when asked this question, well, people use this doubt. And again, ikhwan, look to the understanding of the imams of the time that you live. The likes of Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, the likes of Shaykh al-Fawzan, the likes of Shaykh Muqbil, the likes of other than them. He said, the one who's trying to apply this, to take the narrations because the Salaf took a hadith from some of the people of innovation. Are you like the imams of the Salaf? Are you like Bukhari? Are you on the same level as Bukhari? Are you on the same level as Imam Muslim? Are you on the same level as Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, Abu Dawud, or the other imam? Are you upon their level? They say this, the crazy thing, they say this, and the ones who try and promote it, they're addressing general Muslims. That Muslim may have not even memorized his Amma. The one that saying, yes, you can take the good and leave the bad, he may not know what the bad is to begin with. He doesn't understand the fundamentals of the people of the Sunnah, nor the plotting and the trickery of the people of innovation. Lastly, ikhwan, alhamdulillah, is there any need now to take from them the ahadith? Ahlu Bidah, is there any need? Khalas, doing it is Sunnah. The Sunnah is being compiled, it's collective. There's no need to narrate from them anymore. So all we are left with is what? The mafsada, the harm of sitting with Ahlu Bidah. That's all that's left. And that's why Tuwajiri rahimahullah ta'ala said, one of the reasons why innovation has spread in many places, he said because people allow in certain institutes and maybe universities and schools, they allow the people of bid'ah to teach, like for example the Ikhwan al-Muslimun, and look at the damage they brought to the Muslim lands. By allowing them, trying to accommodate them when they were fleeing their countries because of the persecution, certain countries welcomed them, instead of them being honorable, that we've been welcomed, and alhamdulillah we're in a Muslim land, and we can establish our religion, their eyes is on the currency, their eyes is on position and power. So now they want to rather use that opportunity to undermine the Muslim lands. May Allah protect the rulers, and likewise bless them to have righteous companions. And yes, we do not tolerate any type of munkar. Somebody asked us, is this allowed? We say, if in al-halal bayin, halal is clear, haram is clear. Music is haram. No, we will be disagreeing. Tabarruj haram, ikhtilat haram. You will not find it. That's what we say to these individuals. Give us an example where you find one of the scholars of the Sunnah, or one of the scholars of the Sunnah justifying evil. That's something that doesn't exist. Now, with knowledge, وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ مِنَّا وَسُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ أَشْهَدُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ أَسْتَغْفِرُكَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْكَ وَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ.